So, first, an explanation. I recorded 2 sessions of Rimworld before I realized that I did not have my mic unmuted in OBS, which sucks big time. And those were 2 pretty productive sessions as well. I have gone ahead and edited them together in a fairly concise video. We're going to go through it. I'm going to do some post commentary, and yeah, I'm sorry, this is going to be a weird part of the series and journey, but let's get through it. Let's get to it. So the first thing is I wanted to finally get this main common area finished and dealt with. I've been talking about it far too long, and this is kind of like the theme for this whole episode is I really wanted to get some stuff done that I had been talking about and not actually getting to. So the first thing was to design a lab that actually like functioned properly as a lab and made good use of all of the space and did feel spacious. I should really like look up or even just like spend some time and like consider like what is considered a spacious room. Because that would probably help for like mood and efficiency's sake. I don't really understand how the rooms work in Rimworld. I don't think they're very well explained. I kind of talked about this while I was designing this room, and now I'm, explaining my thoughts on it. But I just think that, if you highlight a room and it tells you it's a lab, it should tell you how to like best make that lab function. But it doesn't, and that's one of the things I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to Rimworld. So we are breaking down 2 prisoners. We're breaking down Arsony, which is a hilarious name for someone, and they are not an arsonist. Genuinely, I thought that was kind of hilarious. But Arsony, I'm going to highlight a couple times here. They take a very long time to break down for a reason that is kind of revealed to me a little bit later on. So I guess I'll keep that a surprise. And we're also breaking down another person named Chef, Bork Bork Bork. They are actually a chef, but we'll get into that as well. We actually get a couple of crashed spaceship parts. So this one here actually didn't have any mechanites or whatever you want to call them, any robots guarding it. So that was like only a good thing. We got a bunch of plasteel and steel. You can see the progress going involving the lab there. I do use sterile flooring because I know that actually does help the room. I decided to take Trexigo here off of cooking because I really wanted my hauler and cleaner back. I think that I need a couple of hauler and cleaners. It's a really difficult thing to decide who you are going to basically delegate away from their talents, because no one is really talented at hauling and cleaning. Everyone is talented at something or nothing really. But like I don't have anyone who isn't like talented at some kind of job. And my temptation is always, well, let them do what they're good at or what they have potential in. So to delegate someone to being like, hey, I really just need someone to like haul and clean, it kind of hurts. But I decided that I didn't need 3 chefs. That will change later in this episode. We'll get into it at that point. Lab is almost done. Ben has been a real workhorse. He's been doing a lot of the construction around the site, so that's been very helpful. You might have noticed I placed another turret. I know that people were telling me that turrets aren't really worth it. We're gonna get into it. I don't know. I think that auto turrets are worth it, at least what I've seen of them, but maybe they kind of outlive their relevancy, and I'm not sure when that is. I'm still figuring things out. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the advanced advice. I can't always guarantee I will follow it, especially when I'm recording so far ahead. But we're still finding new steel. Now, Arsony is in a daze. Arsony is in a daze for a specific reason. Their mood is god-awful, and we'll find out why in just a sec. Someone out there, a very astute observer, might have noticed why, but I'm not that astute even when I'm looking right at the information. We got ourselves a really interesting mission to attack a camp for some recon armor, and that's going to become very decent later on. Now, I do have a power claw at this point, and I'm playing with the idea of giving it to Galen. I noticed that Galen's missing 2 fingers. on his left hand. But for some reason, I think partially because Galen has become fairly skilled with the gun, and because Bacchus can never wield a gun because I believe she is a rash or like I don't know, she's got a trait that makes her not good with a gun. I decide to give the power claw to Bacchus. So Bacchus now has a power claw, which is pretty badass, I gotta say. So that went completely like very successfully, and no harm was done. She's got a power claw, that's all good. I try to figure out food, and you know, since we have such a large amount of meat and you know, plant matter or plant food is a constant kind of income, I decide to finally tackle lavish meals. And right now, because lavish meals are like suboptimal when it comes to how much actual food they take to make, I am being very conservative with them, and you know, I decided to just like make enough to feed people. So I'm doing like one per person plus a couple of extras, just in case. You can see here I'm expanding the hospital, another thing I talked about doing before, and you know, finally got to. We got ourselves a bulk trader. One nice thing about doing post editing is that this screen, this whole dialogue is very quickened. But you know, please F's in chat and appreciate just how much extra effort it takes to do editing on these videos. I really don't like doing editing. It's my computer is not up to the task, and it's always like way more effort than it needs to be. I'm working on that this year though, so that's something I'm hoping to improve later, but that is neither here nor there. I decided to sell a couple of extra dromedaries. We have enough meat, so I can take the hit. And also, I mean, kibble is something I plan on dealing with down the line, so that I know that has been an ongoing problem. Now, I got some really interesting missions there, but I'm not really showcasing them in this video, mostly because, well, one of them gave me a joy or pain blocker, which was really, really interesting, and I really wanted it, but because of circumstances, I decided, or I didn't decide, I just missed it. I just kept procrastinating and missed out on it, which really sucks. But yeah, that was kind of that. So I don't showcase that too much, but I do get to do one mission that is important. Now here I'm talking about and highlighting that I want to finally figure out the workshop a bit better. I like the workshops that we've done, and I do like the modular design. However, I do need extra room because the lab, that is to say the drug lab specifically, needs some extra room. Now here I showcase Bacchus using her power claw to take out Arseny, who goes berserk, I believe for the first or second time, I can't remember, but I know they go berserk a few times for specific reasons. We get a raid, and I get to like see how well my defenses are working out for me. They're working out very well. I was very, very pleased with how this went, and something I'm really appreciating here and also in the future is that we get raided a couple of times and we sustain no damage, 0 casualties, 0 injuries. No one needs recovery time, and isn't that fantastic? I don't expect it to go that way every time, but I do appreciate it when it happens. You appreciate the small victories in Rimworld as much as the big victories. You might have noticed that there was one individual who's downed in that raid that I considered having join our group, but they were unwaveringly loyal, so I just finished them off. We had a couple of cows join us, which was like truly out of left field. A male and a female cow just like randomly decided to join us, which was just great. So we have cows now. We've got, well, disease. I don't think that is even worth highlighting. It kind of sorts itself out. Figure out the workshop, get that kind of sorted out. This was a project that took both sessions. I wanted to basically, you know, glue the workshops together, make one big workshop, and that way I can have the drug lab and, you know, potentially any future tables take advantage of the tool, whatever they're called, cabinets. without having to build more, because they are actually very expensive steel wise. I'm sure someone out there has figured out a very good workshop design that means you only have to build 2 tool cabinets, and so you get to save quite a lot of steel. We get attacked again here, this time from 2 different angles, but I have my autocannon set up, and this was a little bit I was getting a little bit worried here that something was going to happen, but that kind of took care of itself. Interesting to me that like fending off one side does not make the other side flee, so you gotta have to fend off both sides equally. So I'm still trying to figure out zones or areas, that is to say. Someone mentioned in the comments, hey, you should make a hide zone, which makes a lot of sense. It doesn't, like, I've been really kind of treating home as a hide zone, but because I have farming, like farm areas outside of my home, I can't really rely on that as a hide zone. So I'm gonna have to make yet another area and then treat that as a hide zone. So I'll have to figure that out. And I still, like, there's still a lot of things in Rimworld that I'm figuring out, and I'm kind of glad I don't have everything figured out so far, because that would make the game very boring for me. Chef here has gone, you know, they are now part of the colony official. They are a good hunter. They're actually really good at a lot of things. I think ironically they're not great at cooking. They're good at crafting, and they're good at smithing, and they're good at like a lot of things, but they're not a great cook. I decided that because the kibble is not being sorted out, that I do in fact need a 3rd chef, so that, you know, there's always a chef at the butcher table making kibble, and prioritize them to make some kibble. So I really wanted to get that sorted because it's been an ongoing problem. And then finally, in the common area, now that I've got the 2 research tables out of the way and I have the drug lab out of the way, the only thing left to sort out is the smelting, or whatever you want to call it, the smithing kind of oven. So that's the last thing that needs to be done. I decide to shove it over there in the corner. I know it needs its own air conditioner, otherwise it's going to get very, very hot in that room. It's a separate problem. I'm sure there's better ways of dealing with this. This is how I've dealt with it so far, and that's kind of the last thing that common area needs rid of. I decided to finally tackle, now that like a lot of the major milestone kind of things are taken care of, now that we've sorted, like, you know, research for the most part, now that we have defenses kind of settled, we have food kind of taken care of itself, I've decided, hey, you know what? Let's get roads. I think that roads would be a nice thing. And I know that they're not just aesthetic. I know that they actually do improve the running or walking speed of residents, and I think it probably improves their mood as well. Maybe, I don't know. But it's something I wanted to do, and I think it would make the place look rather nice. And unfortunately, it's something that's going to bother me. I talk a lot about it in this whole playthrough, but you'll notice that the roads do not exactly match up with the exits and the entrances. This is something I will consider in future playthroughs, but I kind of want to have two autocannons side by side for each exit, and you can't reinstall the autocannons, which sucks. Also, new recruit Arseny, they're finally part of the group, and just in case you missed it, the whole reason that they were taking so long to join us is because they were addicted to wake-up pills. So yeah, they're going through withdrawal, but they're almost through it now, and they're in the hospital dealing with that. But yeah, the autocannons can't be reinstalled, so I really don't want to uninstall or deconstruct the autocannons and then replace them, because that actually wastes quite a lot of steel and resources. I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm going to widen the entrances in such a way that the autocannon is on like one side of it, and then I can place another autocannon on the other side and have 2 autocannons for each exit or entrance, whatever you want to call them. I know this is going to be a work in progress. There's other things that are going to come up, and you know, ways to improve our defenses. These are things I'm going to learn as time goes on, either from people's suggestions or from my own kind of trial and error. So I decide to finally hit that camp. We got our set up our caravan to go and hit that. That is probably the most dramatic part of both these sessions, because it's one of the first. It's not the first time I've hit a camp, but it is fairly dramatic. There's just a lot. It's one of the heaviest camps that I have to take on, and I send 4 people to hit it. I think 5 would have been better, but I really just didn't want a repeat of that episode where I lost 3 people because all of my best, fighters were off on some kind of journey. We did get ambushed, and it was a kind of an interesting ambush. I mean, obviously it's a nothing whatever. There's no problem here. And then there's just like randomly 2 steel columns and 4 steel tables. So I just like disassemble all of that and we get some more steel. This is a kind of funny because later down the line, when we actually hit the bandit camp, they have more steel, and I actually really regret not sending more dromedaries with them because they end up hitting their encumbrance like maximum, and I couldn't take all the steel with me. So we're finally almost done here, and like we've got all those walls knocked down. I'm gonna replace like all, place down all the flooring that I can, and also there's like some granite flooring there, so that needed to be dealt with. So here's our bandit camp, and I won't say that this went flawlessly because it didn't go flawlessly. It actually almost went horribly, but it didn't go horribly. So it's very middle of the line. But I got Bacchus here with the power claw, and I want her to get up in their grill and start attacking them melee. This I think I could have done this better, but like I wanted her to go and hit this one dude. Unfortunately, she ended up within range of this other guy coming up who has a shotgun. I can't, where is he? He's gonna move up a little bit. Not sure which one it is. Yeah, it's that one hiding behind the solar panels. And he starts shooting her. This could have gone so badly. I kind of want to I almost wanted Bacchus to back up. Like, she got knocked down. I tried to back her up away from the shotgun because like that can be so devastating, and I really just didn't want to have to deal with that. So she's down, so we only have 3 of them left. And you know how badly this can go, and it can go badly like very quickly. I definitely need to get some more armor set up. That's something else I deal with later in this episode, but I managed to knock that one other guy out. That's the final kind of linchpin, and so the rest of them go fleeing, and we managed to recover Bacchus. She's okay. Everyone's okay. We recover from all of this, and then we managed to disassemble everything. There's better ways of dealing with all of this. I'm still learning, so I do take some more pot shots against that one guy because I don't like to let them leave, honestly. I've had too many of them leave with people, so I don't have a lot of mercy for that. So you can see here, I'm like literally, playing with the numbers on the steel and taking exactly as much as I can back with me. I think I missed like 100 steel. I say here that I spent way too long starved for steel, so I'm never going to miss any opportunities to take it when I have it. So I buy it when I can, and I take it when I can, and I steal it when I can. I am never ever going to let steel like leave my grasp, basically. And in this case, it was kind of beneficial because I have so much variety for meat that it actually makes that left screen, like that left menu that shows all of my wares, take up a lot of room. I'm sure there's a way to fix that. I'm sure there's a way to set which materials I want to see on that left menu. I'm sure someone's going to tell me exactly how to do that. And that would be actually very helpful because one thing that I don't spend a lot of time doing in Rimworld is going through all of the nested menus and figuring out how to improve the UI for myself. Probably would help a lot, but it's something I'm not very accustomed with. So here's our second ship. This one does have some mechanites, or whatever you want to call them, some robots. And I decide to finally tackle making some weapons. And I make some EMP grenades. I really didn't understand this when I made these, but these are kind of amazing. I thought that they were going to be a limited resource, but that doesn't really make sense because ammo is not a limited resource. So when you give someone grenades, they just have grenades, like an unlimited supply of grenades. So that's kind of astoundingly good. AMP launcher might be good too. Obviously, that's going to increase the range, but I give it to Bacchus. I have mixed feelings about that because now Bacchus is just holding grenades. It might be that she's the perfect person to like hold, have grenades like and start and use them against someone in like melee range. So like if they approach her, then she can actually fend herself off. Like she can defend herself. We did get that recon armor from attacking that raid base, so I give it to Bacchus, and she's probably going to be the one that in the line of danger most of the time. And yeah, I mean, like, there's pros and cons to giving it to Bacchus. I would like her to be like the melee user, but we'll figure it out. Bexada here got inspired to recruit someone, so next time we have someone that we want to recruit, it'll probably happen instantly, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I take a long time here to craft both an extra assault rifle, and I don't think I actually finished making the assault rifle, but I wanted Arsony to have a gun because they are actually apparently pretty talented with a gun. And for the first time, experiment with grenades, which was an interesting thing. Like here, when you're using EMP grenades, something I wasn't really used to, but I mean, it is very good. It was very, very effective. And like I'm having Bacchus kind of like be the front line here. I wish I had done this a bit better because I threw the grenade and then had everyone start attacking them instantly. But there's actually kind of a delay with that grenade, you can see there, so only one of them got caught in the explosion. Wasn't a big problem because there were so many people attacking this one that came up on Bacchus that it was a non-problem, and then we can just like kill the other one that was stunned. So this couldn't have gone much better. I don't even think that Bacchus was injured at all. And then we destroyed that other defoliator ship. And that was kind of the end of this episode. It was the last thing that happened. I can't say that this kind of thing won't happen again or I lose my mic. Anyway, if you did enjoy this, definitely hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy.